Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon, and we're going to talk about Warner Brothers Discovery and J.J. Abrams. It looks like J.J. is in hot water with Warner Brothers, with David Zaslav. They're asking what the hell they're getting for their $250 million. Yeah, remember that deal from a couple of years ago? J.J. Abrams was signing exclusively with WarnerMedia. It was a $250 million deal. They made a big stink about it. Hey, JJ's coming to Warner. This is going to be fantastic. It's been 3 years and he hasn't produced much of anything. And now David Zaslav, Big Daddy Zaz, he is looking at JJ Abrams and he's like, what have you done for us lately? By lately, I mean in the last 3 years. He's got a show coming out, I guess, but Zaslav is going to take a look at J.J. Abrams and decide whether or not to terminate the deal, as I understand it. So this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. We're going to talk more about it. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 268,000 subs. Thank you for the support. Geeky is sitting this one out. She doesn't really care about J.J. Abrams or Jar Jar Abrams, depending on who you ask. But yeah, I don't think David Zaslav is a fan. And again, you're only as good as your last movie. And, what have you done for me lately? $250 million Warner spent on Abrams to, get him exclusively on their team. And of course, now there's been this big shuffle over Warner's, and Zaslav is cutting corners, cutting services. He cut CNN Plus after 3 weeks. Zaz don't give a shit. He really don't. And it doesn't matter if you're J.J. Abrams or not. He might cut you. So let's talk about this. Again, coming from the Hollywood Reporter, is it Demimonde on the bubble as Warner Brothers Discovery puts pressure on J.J. Abrams. The lack of output on the studio's $250 million deal with Bad Robot, as sources say, WBD, which is Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav, is putting all of the company's packs under the microscope. So they're going to look at everybody's deal now. They're going to look at everybody's deal because JJ hasn't produced jack shit in 3 years now. So Abrams' Demimonde, the first show the prolific producer has written since Fringe in 2008, is on the bubble at HBO. As sources say, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav is frustrated by the lack of output from Bad Robot's $250 million deal. Sources tell The Hollywood Reporter that the budget for HBO's Demimonde, which has been in the works since 2018, is a source of contention as Abrams' Bad Robot is eyeing a spend that's north of $200 million. By comparison, the budget for the Game of Thrones prequel is less than $200 million. A decision on whether the sci-fi drama will move forward is expected to come this week. The series cast Station 11 and Watchmen alum Daniel Deadweiler in April, and sources say studio Warner Brothers TV has reviewed 10 of the 8 scripts for the drama that landed at HBO with a straight-to-series order 2 weeks after being shopped to buyers. Bad Robot's rich overall deal with Warner Brothers is currently not in jeopardy, though the lack of output has created a larger discussion about what the newly merged company expects to stem from the pact. Zaslav, sources say, was frustrated with the lack of delivery from the deal that was signed back in 2019 after Abrams and Bad Robot met with suitors, including Apple. Abrams has multiple projects in the works, including a new animated Batman series. And this is Demimonde. I think it's Demimonde. I don't know. I don't care. A YouTube scripted series. What? Presumed Innocent, Duster. Yeah, anyway, sources say that the DC Comics properties have also come under the spotlight. Sources suggest there's some frustration within the halls of Warner Brothers Discovery that Abrams has laid claim to a number of DC characters but has yet to get anything on air. He's squatting on DC characters and he's not doing anything. Sources note Warner's has seen scripts for Constantine, the pilot of Madam X. So it does exist. It's not vaporware. Meanwhile, the lack of delivery on content to HBO and HBO Max has created a pipeline issue for both the premium cable network and streamer, making it challenging to plan for budgets and marketing. There's currently no delivery plan for any of Bad Robot's multiple projects. Or for third-party buyers, Abrams, is worth noting, is working on a new Star Trek movie for rival Paramount. As the Warner's pact did not include exclusivity. So he took this is like a Kickstarter deal or something, right? He took $250 million from Warner Brothers to produce all these shows. He's laid claim to DC characters and basically squatted on them, so nobody else can really do anything with them. And then he turned around and he took a movie deal with Paramount for $250 million. Yeah, they're a little pissed. Remember when Abrams and his son did that Spider-Man comic? Yeah, I vaguely remember that. That was like a big deal. That was supposed to be the comic book that was going to sell 1 million copies for Marvel, and it didn't happen. And it kind of just completely disappeared. In a larger sense, Zaslav is putting all the studio's overall deals under the microscope as he looks to trim $3 billion from the newly merged Warner Brothers Discovery. Other PACs include Greg Berlanti's $400 million deal, of which Warner's has already seen scores of shows and movies debut on linear and streaming platforms. So yeah, Berlanti's producing. He might be producing a lot of shit, but at least they're getting something. In the case of Abrams, they gave him a shit ton of money, and he hasn't delivered anything yet. Again, this is like a Kickstarter gone wrong, right? Like, oh yeah, we'll just take your $10 million and whoopsie dipsy. Bad Robot, it's worth noting, has been rapidly expanding into divisions, including gaming and podcasting, but they're not producing anything for Warner Brothers, which they were paid $250 million to do. Reps for Warner and Bad Robot declined to comment. I don't think this is gonna end well. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I mean, they're saying that his deal's not technically in danger, but there has to be some kind of a clause in there that they paid $250 million to J.J. Abrams. And he hasn't given them anything yet that they can use. I mean, he's got various things in development, but he's flitting around doing movies for other studios. He's doing podcasting. He's doing video games. He's doing all this stuff, but they gave him $250 million to make content for HBO and HBO Max. And he's just kind of taking his sweet old time on it. So yeah, he's going to be a little pissed. Zaslav does not have patience. This is an article put out last week in the Wall Street Journal. And we've been telling you guys this for months. We've been hearing from multiple people inside Hollywood that David Zaslav is coming in. He's like the Grim Reaper. He's the destroyer, right? He's going to come in and he's going to disembowel Warner Brothers, and anything that doesn't perform gets gone. And right out of the gate, chopping CW shows, shutting down CNN Plus. CNN's told to stick to sports, basically, stick to news. And I think it's going to get a lot worse. I think he's going to come in, especially with all the negativity around the DCEU, with the Amber Heard debacle, and with the Ezra Miller debacle, and all of that crap going on with DC right now. And I think he's going to look at the situation. He's already shut down the Wonder Twins. He doesn't give a shit. And he's probably going to be like, yeah, we're going to do DC characters. We're going to do them right. We're going to hire somebody to do them right. And eventually his eye is going to turn toward the comic books. And one of two things will happen. Either they'll shit can everybody in charge of the comics because the comics are doing badly and they're getting all kinds of negative press for just doing stupid shit. And apparently there's nobody steering the ship over there at DC. I don't know what the hell is going on. Or they'll wind up jobbing the comics out, because they're not terribly important. And why do we need a publishing company when somebody else can pay us to make comics, better comics based on our characters? So that could also happen too. I don't know. Whatever's going on though, expect a lot of heads to continue to roll at Warner Brothers, and not even J.J. Abrams is safe from David Zaslav. Gonna wrap this one up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.